So hi, in today's video we are talking about stock market investing. So by the end of today's video you'll know everything there is to the Indian stock market and how you can as an individual get started into investing in stocks. But first of all, before we get started with the video, I just want to give a disclaimer that I'm not a financial expert and you should not make any huge financial decision, any formal financial decisions based on what you see in this video. So without any further ado, now let's jump into the video. The very first question that will come to your mind while you're getting started with investing is, why do you actually need to invest when you can just save your money? Quite frankly, with the amazing work that our current government is doing,
A plus B into square into bracket square करे तो
the inflation rates in our country are skyrocketing, which is around 6% this year. Now what inflation rate means is what you call महंगाई in Hindi, and this means that the price of everything is generally going to increase. That means the value of the currency that you currently hold is going to decrease by that same margin. So for example, this year you save 1000 rupees with yourself, right? You have 1000 rupees cash saved. You'd think that in 3 years your 1000 rupees are going to remain the same, but actually the value of your 1000 rupees is depreciating over time. So you're not actually saving money over the years, you're actually losing money over the years. So this is where investments come in. So if you as an individual think that something is going to get better and something is going to increase in its value and it is currently not at the value that it should be, then you invest in that thing. That means you're betting that this thing is going to become more valuable in the future. And if it does, your investment is successful and you end up gaining a profit from that. So that was a very simple definition of investing. In the year 2020, almost 5 million Indian users started investing in stocks, which was about a 22% increase over the previous year. But if you compare the same numbers to the US, in the US, about 50% of the entire adult population is currently investing in stocks compared to India's 2.5%. So if you have not currently started out investing, this is a perfect time for you, and in this video you will learn everything there is on how you can actually get started. So since I was a child, I used to hear my parents talking about shares and stocks, and he used to say that this stock has fallen. Back then I had absolutely no idea of what shares or stocks or anything about investing. But I always had this fear of missing out, that if I grow up and I don't know what my parents are talking about, and I wanted to be a part of the conversation. So that is when I started teaching myself about what all of this meant. So granted, I'm not an extremely well-versed person in the workings of the stock market and in the financial sector, but I know a lot of things just from the help of the internet and my father. So these two were the main sources that helped me get into this stock market and to understand what it exactly is. So if you're just getting started, I'd really advise you to go to YouTube and watch many videos, as much as you can, so that you gain interest and you also understand what exactly it is. So now let's talk about shares. This word gets thrown about a lot and many people are usually not aware of what shares actually mean. So let's say you buy one share of the company Apple. Just one share. What this means is that you have bought one share into that company. So you are a part owner, although it is extremely negligible, but you have become a part owner of that company. So that's it. When you own a share in that company, that means if the company is making profits, you are going to make profits with them, and if they're losing money, you are going to lose money with them. Now therefore, choosing which shares to buy is an extremely important part of your financial journey. Now that you know what shares are, you would really be excited, or you really want to know, how exactly do I buy these shares? So to buy a share or to buy a stock in India, you need to have 3 accounts. You need to have your bank account, you need to have a demat account, and you need to have a trading account. Now of course, if your bank itself is offering a 3-in-1 service, so for example, Axis has Axis Direct, Axis Bank is Axis Direct, ICICI Bank also has its 3-in-1 thing. So what 3-in-1 means is that your bank, your demat and your trading account, all of those will be in one bundle. So you do not need to make accounts at different places. I personally do not use this 3-in-1 service. What I use is a broker called Zerodha. Now a broker is someone who buys shares on behalf of you, because you personally are not licensed to buy anything. You personally as an individual, if you're not a licensed broker, are not allowed to buy shares. You have to tell your broker that I want to buy this and this share. He buys it for you and then he puts it into your demat account where your shares are stored. So Zerodha in simple terms is a broker which has an inbuilt demat as well and a trading account. So you don't need to do a lot of work. Just before you get started, you will need to have a PAN card while registering and your bank account details. So within 2 to 3 days or within a week, your account will get set up and you will be able to buy the shares. So of course, the choice of the brokers generally vary from person to person. Just go to the internet and just search for best brokers in India and you'll get a complete list of it, and then you're free to choose from them. So now you might be getting a little confused because earlier I said that broker was a person. So actually Zerodha is an app. So you don't actually have to call a person and tell him to buy your shares for you. Of course, you can also call them. But when you give your order electronically, it just goes to the company sets the order for you, and then the order is processed. So broker generally is not only a person these days, it is completely a digital process. So yeah, that was a simple way of how to get started. I'll put down the link of Zerodha, Upstocks and some bank who offer direct services as well. You can just go and check it out, and if you really are interested, you can get started now itself. So when you're just getting started into reading about markets, you'll have heard a lot about Nifty, you'll have heard a lot about Sensex and whatnot. What these things are, they are the indices which tells the person who is looking at them the mood of the stock market currently. So to understand in simple terms, now let's just talk about Nifty 50. So what Nifty 50 is a group of 50 stocks that are put together and then they are added up to create an index. So this index tells the viewer or lets the viewer know about the mood of the stock market currently. So if these 50 stocks are doing well, the index will be showing good results, and that means the stock market is actually bullish or it is actually going up. And if it is the other way around, it is going bearish or it's going down. Now, the most important part. Many people, the reason people don't get into the stock market is that they think that stock market is very risky. And to tell you the truth, the person who says this is not actually wrong. Putting your money in stock market is a generally risky thing, but it depends on where in the stock market you put your money in. So it doesn't mean that putting your money in the stock market means that you just put it in the stock market and see what happens. You have to be smart enough to choose the companies that are going to do well. So now let's move to the last question, that is, what is actually a right age that I should start investing? Now, there is only one answer that I can give you. It is as early as possible. Because the goal of long-term investing is to secure your future, right? To secure your future. So if you're investing at an age of 17 or 18, if you're starting to invest in your teens, by the time you grow up, you'll have saved a lot of money and it would have grown really well by the time you're in your future. So now let's understand and take a look at the power of compounding. So let's say that your fund is not doing very well and it is giving you 3 to 4% returns per annum per year. So for example, if you had invested 10 rupees, by next year you'll have about 13 or 14 rupees. The next year after that, you will have a 3 to 4% return on those 14 rupees, not on those 10 rupees. So that means your profit this year will be larger. And thus every year your profit margin keeps on increasing, and if you keep on going, it will just skyrocket. About the age of 70, Warren Buffett was not very rich. Almost 90% of his wealth came after the age of 70. So again, you have to be really patient if you want to gain long-term returns in the stock market. So again, coming back to the question, the right age is whenever you possibly can. Try to do it as early as possible. Thinking about doing it in the future or procrastinating it will not really help you. You need to start as soon as you are ready. If you're a minor, if you're below the age of 18, your parents will have to help you get set up with your account. And yeah, you can start investing even before you're an actual adult. So yeah, I guess this video basically covered everything at a very basic level on the stock market. Again, I'm not a person that you should ask advice from, or I'm not a person who is very, very financially savvy, but I hope that this video gave you a basic idea and you are ready to start investing now. So also, if you want to know more about this, I'll advise you to go through CA Rachna Ranede's YouTube channel. She's a CA based in Maharashtra, and she does all of these videos based on stock market, and they are absolutely fabulous. So that's it from my end. I'll be back again with another video very shortly. Thank you for watching.